Hi guys, and welcome back to Code First Girls YouTube channel. Today I have an exciting guest with me. We have Jennifer Opal here. And we're gonna just have a conversation about her tech journey and her experience with CFG, where she is today, how she's just getting on with life.
Hi everyone.
Hi. So before we start with the questions, we're gonna play an icebreaker game. I'm just gonna ask you some quick questions, random, nothing to it. I just thought, why not? First question, that's nice and easy. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why blue?
I don't know what it is, but my bondage to blue needs to be broken.
Light blue, dark blue.
All shades. I feel like ever since, I don't know what it was. Like, I feel like since my early teens, like I've just had a bondage with blue. There's got to be blue. I've got to find a way to incorporate blue in my outfit. Like I've got a blue scarf in my bag.
I saw it.
It makes no sense. I'm wearing all black, but there's a blue scarf in my bag. But for some reason, just blue has to be somewhere in my outfit. No. I don't know why, but yeah.
Another question I have is, if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, calamari. Yeah, just calamari. That's it.
Very nice.
Look, like I will go to Zizzi's, right? Calamari will be the only thing I'll order sometimes, almost all the time. I've ever since I discovered calamari, I just can't stop.
If you were stranded on an island, what were the 3 things you would take with you? And you can only take 3 things.
Ooh, I would take candles, but I'd like candles. I love candles. Like I'd like to like I feel like I find candles so relaxing, and I've discovered candles that have like a wooden wick rather than string ones. I love to relax, so candles would be one of them. I'd love a phone with 5G internet. Maybe there'll be 5G on that island.
Yes.
Last thing that I would bring. Ooh, I don't know.
It's hard. It's a hard question.
It's a hard one. I think sometimes you think in your head, you're like, I know exactly what I would take.
What I'd grab.
And then suddenly you're like, I don't know. Vaseline.
Look, yes.
When oh my gosh, when your lips are dry, it ruins your whole day.
Yes, that's
and
true.
I would rather not. I'm already on an island. I need Vaseline to keep my spirits up.
I hope you guys have got to actually know Jennifer a bit more from those few questions. But for those who may or may not know you, do you want to give like a brief, short introduction of what you do and where you are today? Just a little summary before we get into it.
Sure. So my name is Jennifer Opal, as you said.
Yeah.
I am currently a DevOps engineer with Hello Sign at Dropbox. I've been in tech since officially March 2019. And I got my first introduction to code through Code First Girls. And since then, I've been creating content. I did YouTube. I've retired from YouTube. Please don't ask me. But the videos are there.
Make sure you check them out.
Yeah, please do. I use my platform and my blog as well to really talk about my experience as a Black woman in the tech space. And on top of not just being a Black woman, but I'm also neurodivergent, having dyslexia, dyspraxia, and ADHD. And I try my hardest to be as open as I possibly can about that, because I think it's necessary for people to see that it's possible to be different and still aspire for something and be great at something, even if it is something that you never expected it to be during particular stages in your life. And I've won a few awards along the way, but I'm the type of person I don't like to brag. I know my mentor will be like, Jennifer, brag. But I think the latest win that I had, I was named as one of the most influential women in tech in the UK.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But there's been numerous wins in my 2-year career, and it's been amazing. So
it's amazing to see and witness what you have achieved in just 2 years. And you mentioned that your journey to tech started with Code First Girls.
Yeah.
How did you discover Code First Girls? Tell us more.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, it started. I was at uni at the time. I've since dropped out. I have no regrets.
Wow.
But I have a good reason. I was in my second year, and I went on to do business. I don't really know why I went on to do business, but I originally wanted to become a psychodynamic therapist. I was working with young adults and young offenders that have been given like community orders, maybe to do some like community service, clean up the park, things like that. And my hope was to become a therapist. But once I graduated with a certificate in counselling, it just kind of withered out. I don't know, like I felt like I loved it, but I wasn't passionate about it.
Yeah, I understand.
And then for some reason I just decided to just get onto a degree and do something. And I just picked business because I feel like business is the easiest degree to get on, like easiest.
Yeah, and anyone can do
anyone
business.
can really get onto a business degree. So I thought, you know what? Let me get onto that. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll find something that I enjoy, which is obviously the wrong way to go about it. And then during my second year, I discovered Code First Girls, and they were doing intro courses to front-end web development. I applied for the course. I got onto the course, and I started, and that was October 2017. It was like an 8-week course. Absolutely fell in love with it. And then the following year, Code First Girls did the first further program, which was in collaboration with BT Group. And it was myself and 28, I think it was a total of 28 women on the course. And I got onto that program as well. And it was a full-time digital immersive program for 4 months. And at the end of it, you'd have the opportunity to become a software engineer. So I decided to just go for it. I was in my final year of my degree. I'm crazy to even be doing this.
So you dropped?
I was doing both.
Oh.
Because I didn't know. Like, I didn't know if I was going to get the job or not. So I thought,
True.
you know
you need
what?
to have a backup plan.
100%. So I was like, okay, the course is Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Uni is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm going to have to just do both and just see what happens. Just in case.
Girl.
One goes wrong.
Wow.
I know. You know, it was a crazy season, but I genuinely have no regrets. I don't. And once I got the job offer, it was the decision whether to leave uni or to take the job and move to Belfast in Northern Ireland, and I decided to leave. No, that's how I ended up in Belfast.
That is crazy. So coming from a non-tech background, you came from business. Did you not have any concerns? Like, you just thought, yeah, I can do this? How did you make the decision? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I think honestly, when it came to the degree, I felt like I was there to pass the time almost. Like, I felt like I knew that I wasn't passionate about it. I felt like I was there to discover what I wanted to do. More so when you go to uni, you're supposed to know what you want to do and then apply for that course.
Yeah.
But I did it the complete way around. Ended up like regretting that decision. Kind of like, it definitely caused a lot of stress for me. But I did get to a point before I discovered Code First Girls, I was like, okay, I'll see this degree through, and maybe I'll go back to pursuing counselling as a career. But when Code First Girls came around, it just made sense. And I think that what it was is that sometimes you'll do something and then it'll kind of spark something in you.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just building that website, like my first website. And I was like, why didn't no one tell me? Like, no one told me
you
about
discovered
this.
something
I
amazing.
discovered something. And that's like, I guess that's just what life's about, really. Like, sometimes you have to try something to know if it's for you. And I tried something new, not really knowing what it was and what to expect. And I realized that this was something that I actually wanted to do. But my background in counselling, I wasn't concerned, I wasn't worried. Because I think that my background kind of has some benefits as well, in terms of being observant, being able to kind of transfer those skills where you can kind of, I feel like I'm a lot more self-aware. So not just self-aware of myself, being mindful of how I speak to people, being mindful and respectful of everyone else around me, but also within the team dynamic as well. I think that's very, very important.
Very, very
but
important.
I do think that it definitely, I was not worried. I wasn't worried at all.
That is amazing. So how would you describe your experience of applying?
It was simple. I think in terms of the intro course, it was a simple just application. I did apply twice. The first one I didn't get through. I need to talk about that.
Oh no.
What do you mean? No, but and then I applied the second time when I got onto the cohort. But it was a simple process. It was just an application at the time, and I was really, really happy to actually get onto it. Like, I was nervous, I didn't know what to expect, but I was so, so excited. And then when I got onto the further program, which I think is now the nano degree.
Yeah, definitely.
When I got onto that program, that application process was really simple as well. And it was literally just an application, telephone interview, just to kind of get a feel of where I was at, where my skill set was. And then it was the decision. And I remember when my first day on the further program, oh my gosh, I was like, no way. So when they called me to tell me that I'd got onto the course, I was about to fly out to Ireland that day, and they were going to call me while I was on a flight, and I said, but I'm going to be on a flight, could you call me before to tell me what the result is? And they called me before I got on my flight. It was just before I was about to leave the house to get in a taxi, and they called me and they told me that I got into it. And you know what, like, I don't know what it is about when you get a job or like good news,
It's just,
you try not to react like crazy on the phone.
like, yeah,
oh, thank you so much, that's
doesn't
so
really matter.
great. Yeah, that means so much. But I didn't hang up soon enough. And I found out that when on my first day, the person that told me that I actually got into the course heard me scream, "Mom!" And I didn't like hang up the phone quick enough. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I literally screamed, "Mom, I got into it." I was so happy, and they heard me scream just before I hung up.
That is amazing. Live reaction. I was just mentioning your family. What did they think? What was their input? Did they think you're crazy? Why are you leaving uni? What did they understand what tech is? Like, how did you break that down to them?
Oh, yeah, I think for my mum's always been very supportive. She has no idea. She has no idea what I'm doing. No idea.
All mums are like that.
Yeah. She doesn't really know what it is I do, but the key word there is engineer. That's the key word right there that she's proud of. And she brags about that, and I love that. Very supportive. I let her know what the opportunity was. I let her know what could come of it, and she was just like, if it works for you, then it works. Keep it going and just see it through. And she was very supportive. And with my brothers as well, I've got 3 younger brothers. I think that with them, they were really proud and really excited for me. Once I got the job, they were even more like over the moon for me. And I think that's the key thing. Like, it's so amazing to have family that support what you're doing. Even if they don't necessarily understand what it is you're doing, but they're supportive.
Just the support,
of you.
just to know that they're there for you, makes a difference. It makes you go harder and want to do them proud.
Exactly. And I never expected like that job offer to turn into where I am right now, but I am so grateful, and I'm glad that I'm able to inspire my family, and not just like so many other people.
Your family,
but
as well.
The family's the big part there, because they're able to see that they can be something that we haven't seen before in the family as well. So I'm proud of that.
That is great. So how has CFG impacted your life, your family?
It's so surreal. It's been life changing. The value of learning how to code and understanding what tech is, and the career that you can have, has literally just like completely changed my outlook on life, and changed what I know that I can accomplish or didn't think that I could accomplish before. I feel like sometimes people don't realize. I think from the outside looking in, you might think tech, coding, all that, and it might seem very overwhelming, but the value of learning how to code, whether you go into a role that's where you are coding or not coding, it's such a valuable skill to have. And I've gone from not knowing what I want and where I want to go in terms of my career, but then having that skill alone, and it was just an 8-week course.
Just
like,
that 8-week course changed
your
life,
and it changed everything.
It's
and
amazing.
The career that I've had so far, and then to now be at this point at Dropbox as well. Never would you have told me.
Like, no, not me. Someone else, maybe. Another Jennifer, my twin.
Never would have saw that coming, but I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity if Code First Girls hadn't have actually created that course and provided me with that knowledge, that free education. And it's free. It's free.
It's free, guys.
Literally.
I don't think people believe us when we say it's free. They think there's a catch. There's no catch.
It's so valuable, and I just like, I literally try and shout it from the rooftops, like, learn to code. Whether you want to code on your own, that's fine, but try and find a way to code with other people. That's the best way. It's very, very difficult to learn on your own. But when you're in a space where you're able to collaborate with people, you'll be surprised how much you can learn from one another, even if you don't know everything. But someone that you're pairing with or coding with has that knowledge that you may not have, or you can always just figure it out together. But that collaboration continues even in the working environment as well.
It's amazing.
But yeah, it's been a huge impact for me, for my family, for my mom. Like, my mom like showed off. Oh my gosh, my mom. She's now in Congo as of this year, but she told me that when I got my recent win with Computer Weekly, she told me that, oh, Jennifer, I googled your name and then everything came up about you, and now all the people like here are all congratulating me. I'm like, wait, are they congratulating you or are they congratulating me? What?
She said that she said what she said.
She said what she said. But she's proud, and I think that's what matters the most. And also being able to support my family in terms of, you know, any career choices that they want to do. If they do want to get into tech, I'm able to help them as much as I can. I think that's such a valuable thing. There's so many things I could say.
So amazing.
Honestly.
We could be here forever,
We
guys.
really
Like, I hope you guys are enjoying this content. Aside from Code First Girls, is there anything or anyone else who kind of inspired your journey into tech? Like, do you have any role models that you look up to?
Difficult, because when I first got my intro to code, I didn't know anyone in tech. I didn't know one person.
Makes sense.
But
and now you're listed as most influential
that's a real
in
thing.
UK. Boy,
It's a blessing. Honestly.
My pleasure to be sitting next to you.
Thank you. Like, it's an honor for me, and I think that over the last couple of years, like, there's been some amazing women that have been incredibly supportive of my journey. Starting with my mum, definitely. She's not in tech, but she's just been a huge cheerleader for me. My mentor, Dion Contefarrell, Marley, De Alvis, could literally write. There's so many. There really is. And everyone is just doing their own thing. It's incredible to kind of see women just kind of working their way up and getting to a position where you sometimes may not think that it's somewhere you can get to. Yeah, but then when they get to that position, you're like, okay, she can get there, so can I.
I can do it.
Exactly. It's
nice to see other people. You're like, this is achievable. Yeah. I can do it. It's kind of like concrete ceiling, glass ceiling.
Absolutely. It's powerful. And I think like not just as women, but also as Black women. When you see a Black woman in a position that, you know, it's obviously quite difficult to get to, but when they finally hit that point, you're like, wow. Because I can't imagine the trials and the amount of doors that close for you to just get to that point. And that in itself inspires me a lot. So I love seeing that. I really do.
So obviously, as a Black woman in tech, what are some challenges that you've experienced? How have you overcome them?
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy journey. And you know what? Like, if you follow me on TikTok or you follow me on LinkedIn, you already know. Like, I don't hold back. But I think some of the challenges that I have faced is not having people understand how to communicate with me as a Black person, let alone as a black cishet neurodivergent woman. So it's like there's sometimes some ignorance, and there's sometimes other moments where you're in a position of education, and it can sometimes become exhausting.
Yeah,
I think that that's one thing. There has been some ignorance. I've experienced ignorance. I've experienced like jokes about being neurodivergent as well, let alone not having a degree or not coming from a technical background. And in terms of those situations as well, there was never really anyone to kind of call that person out or have your back, you know? So I ended up having to either be silent about it or defend myself. But even with trying to defend yourself, I got to a point where I just stopped speaking because it's exhausting, especially when you are one of few or one of one in an environment where it's just predominantly white. But I think that when you find, I don't know, like there's definitely people that can support you when you are in an environment like this, but it's also very difficult for people to understand. And I feel like it can also be difficult when there's no one that you can speak to that looks like you. So you can kind of say, look, this happened to me, this was said, was it wrong? Is it okay that I'm reacting or feeling the way that I'm feeling? To almost kind of just have a sounding board to know if what I'm feeling is right. There's definitely been a lot of things. But I will say that even in environments like that, there are people like that can support. There are people that have definitely supported me, even in those moments, that have been there to listen to me, even if they don't fully understand. But they've been there to listen. They've been there when I've been crying like crazy. They've been there when I'm feeling down. When you find that support system within an environment like that, it helps and it really, really makes your experience better.
So what have you actually enjoyed the most? What's gone well? What have you learned along the way that you didn't know that's opened your eyes to the industry, I guess?
Yeah, I think one thing I've learned is I kind of came to the realization pretty quickly that when as my career excels, I have to make sure that I keep the door open for Black people. And I say specifically, I have to say Black people because we are, although that women are underrepresented in tech, Black people are significantly underrepresented, and Black women even more so. And I think that we definitely need to increase the representation of Black women. And I think that the way to do that is, as you progress in your career, to ensure that you keep the door open. You ensure that you are, even mentoring people. And it doesn't have to be on an official basis, like sending out tweets, asking if anyone has any questions, holding a space on Clubhouse, Lord have mercy, like whatever it is, people, that there's value in that. Because when I was coming in, I didn't see anyone that looked like me, but once I got in, that's when I saw people that looked like me in tech. And I realized, oh, okay.
There's a lot of us. Yeah, this is where everyone's at.
And I think that because of that experience, I understand the value in being. I don't know if being an inspiration is the right word I would use, but trying to be a role model to people. You're not perfect. I don't know the answer to everything for sure. I think it's so important and so valuable to just make sure that you keep just sharing your story. And it doesn't have to be on Twitter and Clubhouse and things like that. It can be with your siblings, it can be with your cousins, like people around you, for them to see that, and you have no idea what that impact can have. I'll definitely say keep the door open on that one. And I'll also say keep learning. Tech is changing all the time. And I think that sometimes the misconception is once you learn how to code, that's it. And that's not the case. There's always new things coming out. There's always new ways of doing things. There's always new tools coming out. So the learning never stops. Always have that in your mind to continue to learn and continue to grow. And that will help you in terms of developing your career. And that will also help you if you ever are in a position to teach other people as well.
That is amazing. So life after CFG now, where are you at? What roles have you gone through? What is your current role? You did mention you're DevOps engineer.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Do you have any preferences of roles, or what do you want to do next?
I joined the Hello Sign team at Dropbox in March. Yeah, it was March. And I moved back to England in February. I really do enjoy DevOps. And I think that because of being neurodivergent as well, I love the fact that I have the opportunity to learn so many different things. So it's never like the same thing every day. There's always something new to learn about, or something that you've never used before. So it allows my mind to always be stimulated when I'm challenged by learning new things. Definitely, I always say this, I'm still learning and I'll continue to learn. But I really enjoy what I do. And I have an amazing team and a really great manager. So I'm really, really glad that I'm in the environment that I'm in. See the growth in my confidence and in my technical skills as well. And I get to work remotely.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you working from home? Are you in the office?
I'm working from home. Who's going outside?
Do you enjoy working from home?
Love it. I really, really do. I know that it's not for everybody, but I love the fact that I'm able to kind of create my own space for me to work the best way that I know how to. And I love that. I really, really, really enjoy it.
I like the freedom. I like the being at home, but then I work from my bedroom, so I find it hard to differentiate. Okay, this is the workspace and this is my relaxation space. So that's the only thing that annoys me. But other than that, it's amazing. And I don't think I ever thought I'd be working from home. Like, it doesn't even make sense when you say it. But COVID-19 happened, and here we are. It's a good and bad thing, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I do think that, like, when it comes to working from home, I do feel like, I don't know, like, I feel like for me I feel like I can come to work as myself.
Yeah.
And I've had like a lot of, I would say definitely a lot of underrepresented groups, a lot of people of colour, a lot of black people, and neurodivergent people as well that have actually said the same thing and can probably relate to this as well, that they feel that working from home is a lot safer for them. You know, like they feel that they can, like, I don't know if safe is the word, but it's just like there's something about working from home where you just feel safe and you feel okay, and you're almost in control of your environment, and I love that.
It is,
and I don't have to like go into like an office or like get a cup of tea and be like, how are you? You alright? You good? How are you?
You don't have to dress smart. You don't have to. You can just get on with the work, literally, which is what I enjoy. Just get on with the work, do me, and.
And I'm such an introvert as well.
Yeah.
So I don't really I find it difficult sometimes, like with small talk. Like even socializing, the way my mind is thinking, what do I say?
I'd just rather not say anything.
I'd rather not say
literally.
Anything. And then you get the question, how was your weekend? I'm like, oh, it was good. You? It was good. You? Good. You?
So we talk a lot at CFG about things companies can do beyond hire for women, and once they've got their roles and they're settled, what do you think are the top 5 things they can do to make women in tech feel comfortable and in their roles and support them in their journey?
I think that the first thing, you have to continue the support. I don't think that it makes sense to bring in people from diverse backgrounds and then be like, all right, see you later. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. You have to continue that support, especially if you're aware that that person that is coming in, whether they are women, non-binary, whether they are of any ethnic minority, whatever the colour of their skin is, in that situation, if you know that they're underrepresented in your company, you need to support them. Like, it needs to continue. You may not, you may not be able to relate to their experience, but it's absolutely necessary that there's someone or some people there that are able to support that person, so that you don't end up in a situation where that person leaves as quickly as they came in, because that does happen if the support isn't there. It will go somewhere where the support exists. I think that's one key thing. The second thing I would say is having a conversation with the managers and the team that person is joining is so important. You want them to be aware that, okay, this person coming in They may have a non-technical background. They may be a bit nervous. Their first day is their first technical role. You need to. I think it's really useful to ensure that the manager and the team that they're joining make preparations for that person.
Yeah.
Because I think that if that person comes in and you're not ready for them, it will show. Even if you don't think it shows. It shows.
We can see.
You can tell. And I just think that if you have that conversation and you're aware and you can prepare, it will help make that person's experience much, much better. I would also say, like, depending on the level that they are coming in, making sure that you check in on them, like having like one-to-one sessions with them, whether it be every week or every month. I would say every week, and then changing it to every 2 weeks, and then changing it to every month after they've settled in. But just asking them, so this, you can just literally say, these are the tools and these are the languages that our team uses. What are you confident in? What are you not confident in? That language is completely different. Then, for example, if the person knows Python, and you say, do you know Python? It can kind of have a knock-on effect in their confidence. I think the language is key. So I think working on ensuring that you work on a way to communicate with them, to make them feel safe, and also not to make them feel like they're not supposed to be there. Because imposter syndrome, and that
is very real. Syndrome.
Real, and I've had that so many times. And it is not a good feeling, and it can definitely have an impact on not just your confidence. It can have an impact on your productivity. It can have an impact on your mental health outside of work, on your sleep. And I've had that, and it's a terrible place to be, and it's really, really difficult. But I think that working on using inclusive language with that person would definitely make a huge impact as well. Another thing I would say, don't put expectations on that person to suddenly become the token. Well, I think that sometimes someone of an underrepresented group in tech will come into an organization, maybe through a program that was aimed at bringing in diversity, but there's a lot of pressure on that person all of a sudden, make a lot of changes in the company and to do all of this, and that's not how it works. The change begins from up top, and I feel like a lot of companies make the mistake of thinking that the change starts from the bottom. A lot of people that come in from diverse backgrounds tend to come in at junior level roles. So if they don't have support at the junior level, how are you expecting them to make changes that will reach from up there? That doesn't make any sense. But you have to be mindful and be careful that you don't end up putting this person in a position where they suddenly become a token. Because there's a difference between asking that person to advocate for you and for your organization, and then using that person as the staple child for everything.
Yeah.
Because that won't look good. Like, if you end up using the person for a marketing campaign, and then someone like, oh, it's a black woman, oh my gosh, it's a woman, oh my gosh, like she looks like me. And then that person applies and joins, and that person that was in a marketing campaign left.
Oh no.
That ain't a good look.
No.
It's not a good look. So I think it's definitely important that you don't depend on that person. Allow them the choice of whether they want to be a part of trying to make a change. But you also have to be sure and be mindful of that. If you're asking for this person's time, you're asking them for time outside of what they've been hired to do. So if you're not going to take action and genuinely hear what they have to say about their experience, then don't reach out to them at all.
Do you have any tips and tricks for anyone who does want to get into tech that they may not find online or read about? Do you have any golden tickets, any golden theories?
Yeah, do you know what? I feel like a lot of the golden tips are basically online. I have to say. And I would say, like, the first thing is that if you do want to get into tech, the question to not ask is, how do I get into tech? the question you need to think about is, what do you want to do in tech? Because I think that when someone asks me, how do I get into tech? And I say, what do you want to do? And they say, I don't know. Then I can't help you. You need to kind of think about and do research into the various different roles in tech. It might just be you decide that you want to, you know, maybe be an augmented reality developer, VR developer. Maybe you don't even want to code at all. Maybe you want to be a consultant. Maybe you want to do product ownership. Maybe you want to be a data analyst, business analyst. There's so many different roles. And of every different role, there's so many different paths. And you want to make sure that you know, kind of have an idea of what you want to go into before you kind of start asking people that question of how do I get into tech? Because I can't tell you what you can do. You have to tell me, this is what I want to do. Where do you think I should start? So look into the various roles. There's videos on like YouTube and things like that of people talking about their roles and what they do. And I would also say network and connect with the tech community.
Networking.
You can. Oh
Networking is your net worth.
Yes, 100%. And I absolutely believe that when you're networking, even if you're just learning how to code, even if you started yesterday, like connect with the tech community, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on LinkedIn, connect with them, because you can really learn a lot from people that you're interested in. So let's say that you want to do cybersecurity, and then you follow someone that's working in cybersecurity. You're learning from them, but then you're also able to see other people that they're following that are also in the tech community, also working in cybersecurity, and then suddenly you realize you're in that network, and then you have that space where you can kind of ask questions and reach out to people. And it's also beneficial for your career growth. There's a lot of people that have gotten jobs, whether it be their first jobs, their second jobs, whatever it is, literally through their network.
Because of who they know.
Because of who they know. And that's such a powerful thing.
Sometimes they say it's not what you know, it's actually who you know.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that when you think about how the large representation of white cishet men in tech, that played a huge part. A lot of them got their jobs because they knew someone. They kind of kept it within their network, and the majority of their networks look just like them.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we kind of have this issue where we're like people of color and people that are neurodivergent or have other disabilities as well are underrepresented significantly, and we need to increase that. But yeah, please just connect with communities, connect with Code First Girls, go to their events, whether it be virtual or in person. Take precautions if you are going to do it in person. Definitely look on Twitter. There's other communities out there as well. Do your best to not try and get into this journey and learning to code or learning all these new things by yourself, because that will make it so much harder. I definitely didn't do that. Learning to code was difficult. My first intro with Code First Girls was with other women that also were learning, and that's what made my experience so much better. But then after that course, that's when I was diagnosed as neurodivergent, and I was diagnosed with dyslexia, dyspraxia, and ADHD, and that really kind of took a toll because I wasn't expecting that to happen. But even though I have a neurodivergent brain, and it doesn't mean that, you know, I can't learn and I can't build and find my place in tech. And I really enjoy DevOps. I love it. I love having the chance to learn so many different things. So I think that learning all those things, I can't learn that on my own either. You need to do it with people. So try your hardest to reach out to people. For sure.
Definitely. And is there anything happening in tech, both now or in the future, that you're excited about?
I think I'm just excited of seeing, I think maybe it's just my Twitter feed, right? But whenever I see someone of an underrepresented group getting into tech for the first time, that just makes my heart so happy. I just love that. And I'm starting to see that more. Whether the data reflects that, I'm not really sure. But I love seeing that, because I think that people are starting to see the value of having a career in the tech space, whether it be fintech, whether it be biotech, whether it be whatever it might be, right? Like, just seeing people just putting themselves out there and learning something so valuable and getting into that space. And it might be that they'll say that my salary increased by a mad amount, depending on where you are in the world. But I just love seeing that with people. And a lot of them also continue to just share that knowledge with other people. And that's what's so powerful as well. But I'm just excited to see more and more people getting into tech. I've also seen an increase of Black people, especially Black women, getting into artificial intelligence, and I find that so cool. I love that.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Everyone's just so skilled and they have knowledge. It's honestly great to see. Final question. We're coming to the end, sadly. So, is Code First Girls a company that you would recommend to other people?
I always do. I think even if you go on my blog, you'll see it. Like, it's literally everywhere. Like, I have no regrets. But yeah, 100%. I really, really do. I think that I've said this so many times that it's definitely a life-changing experience, and a free course that literally changed the trajectory of my entire life for myself and for my family. Is something that you don't take it for granted, and you can't stop other people from really seeing just how valuable this is. So I always just like to say that if you are interested in learning how to code, women and non-binaries in the UK, just apply and put yourself out there. And if spaces fill up on one course, apply for the other one.
For the next one. We always have courses, guys. Don't worry. We get so many DMs like, I've tried to apply for this, but it's closed. Will there be another one? Of course. Of course. It's coming very soon. Yes. Just keep your eyes peeled on the website. Literally. I think I've just realised as we're coming to the end of this video that I probably didn't introduce myself. So my name's Rahima and I've been with Jennifer here, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation today. Where can they find you? Do you want to plug yourself?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I don't always talk about tech stuff though, not on the weekends. So you can find me on Twitter _ Jennifer Opal. Also on LinkedIn, you can find me by my name. And if you want to check out some previous content, you can check out my website, jenniferopal.co, and you can also subscribe to my newsletter, the Opal newsletter. And yeah, but most of the time I'm on Twitter, definitely.
Yeah, guys, so you can find Code First Girls on Code First Girls, literally everything, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're on TikTok now as well, guys, so make sure you follow us, trying to get some content out on there. All I have to say now is basically make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. I want to hear your thoughts about our conversation in the comments. It would be nice to read some what you guys thought. Hopefully this isn't the last interview that we do, so yeah, I hope they enjoyed. And it's been me, Rahima and Jennifer, and
Thank you for having me.
It's alright. It's been a pleasure to have Jennifer on here. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.